right, looks like we're live. Yep, action.
Cool. Well,
We're back.
yeah.
This time on YouTube.
Whether you want us or not,
Yeah, whether you want us or not.
we have a guest with us today. We have Kennon James.
Hello.
Who, yep. Everybody there?
We are here. You hear us?
Oh, sorry. So yeah, we got Kennon James with us today to draw with us. Kennon.
Somebody might have the audio on.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Can you hear me, Eric?
I can hear you.
Hello.
Yeah,
I
I can hear you.
I hear Kennon.
All right. We good, Eli?
Good on my end, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So anyway, Kennon, why don't you introduce yourself and we'll go from there.
I'm Kennon James. I've been a freelance illustrator for about 25-ish years now, on and off, with some detours into the animation and video game fields. And in the last 4 or 5 years, I've been getting back into freelance illustration. So so I do mainly work for RPG game companies, doing black and white interior stuff. That's what I've been mainly doing. And also miniature game companies doing concept work and stuff like that. So
right, you do a lot of D&D fantasy illustration, kind of, right?
Yeah. Yes.
That's kind of like your main gig. It's kind of your main focus too. It's like when you draw stuff for yourself in your sketchbook, it's most likely going to be fantasy creatures and stuff, right?
Yes. Correct.
No? Yeah. I found you online way back. I think probably blog days. And I think we struck up a friendship. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we struck up a friendship based on, your line work. I think I could see like a lot of Bill Stout in your stuff. I could see a lot of, I don't know, just like similar illustrators I was into.
Right.
And we kind of struck up a friendship. And I think what we did then was, I think we did a short story. I was doing all the tales of the TMNT stuff for Mirage. And at that point, we were bringing a lot of different artists in. And we had the ability to kind of like throw work different people's way. You and I jammed on a short story, right?
Correct. I did two pinups for Tales of the TMNT first.
Was that first? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You did that crazy Cthulhu thing. That
yeah,
was one
I
of
did
my favorites.
God, I forget what I called it. But yeah, I did 2 pinups, and then you and I wound up doing the short story together.
Which I inked. It was kind
yes.
of it was really cool, actually. It was really a lot of fun.
And that was the Raphael short story where he fights the shadows.
It's like a dark mystic or something like that. Yeah. And I think at that point we continued. We stayed connected online, and I think I think we got to a point just before the sale of the property that we were talking about doing an actual book together. We were going to try to do a full issue together, which unfortunately never actually happened. But yeah. So do you work in a studio, or do you work by yourself for a bunch of studios?
I work just freelance. I work for a bunch of different companies. I've got a dry erase board, and I get hit up from social media mainly. People will see my work online and ask if I take commissions, and I give them a page rate and let them know what kind of weight they're, how long it'll take. And
oh yeah.
But I work for all kinds of different companies, not just one.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man, your work is awesome, man. Is it so who is in that world today of like black and white I guess story kind of illustration, because I'm like way out of date. Anybody will tell you I'm out of date with everything in the industry. Is um I'm thinking of like White Wolf and things like that. Are they still around?
I assume so. I mainly work for small companies. I don't work for any of the main ones, and that's kind of weird because I feel like I'm kind of underground in the fact that I work for mainly smaller companies. I mean, I don't work for like Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast are the guys that own D&D now. Mainly because they don't use black and white artwork. So um, when I was growing up, I wanted to either be a comic book artist or do illustration for D&D. And then when I got out of art school, D&D got changed ownerships, and they consequently overhauled the whole art style. And I wanted to do black and white artwork, but they changed to all this full color stuff, and I became irrelevant real fast and had to pivot. And anyway, I basically, just long story short, I just survived long enough, and now I survived long enough doing other stuff, and now there's companies out there that want to go back to the kind of the old school look of the black and white stuff. So, but to answer your question, I don't know if White Wolf still exists. I don't think so, but I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I was just asking because you're totally right, because like you're talking like 20 years ago or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I did some work for D&D back then for their magazines like Dungeons and and I think Dragon magazine at the time, and it was all full color stuff. Like because I'm like you, I'm a black and white guy. They would
Right.
not let me do any black and white. Everything was all like full color. I don't even remember any black and white gigs for them.
Right.
Did you ever do anything for Palladium?
No.
Role playing stuff. Yeah,
No.
I did. Well, that was a long time ago, but I did a bunch of stuff for them because they were doing the turtle role playing games.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah,
wa-
yeah.
Yeah, that was all black and white.
Right. Yep. Yep. I remember that. I still have my copy up here on the shelf, actually.
Of the turtle one.
Yep.
Yeah, they're relaunching it. They're doing a reprint.
Yeah, they did a Kickstarter not too long ago, and to reboot it and everything.
It did really good.
Yeah,
It was
I'm
like
not
it cleared
surprised.
over $1 million, which struck me as crazy, but cool.
I found one of Kennon's pages from the Turtles. I can show on the screen here. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's Ken and me working together. What year was that?
Yep.
Oh, God.
Oh man, that was like 2008 or 9 or something like that. I
Yeah.
don't want to say.
Oh man, I wish we did a whole book. That's too bad.
That's so
But
awesome, man.
it is what it is. So were you like when you did that turtle stuff? Was it like we used to get all the time, like people would be like, oh, it was like a bucket list thing for them because they all grew up with the turtles.
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
So that was like that. Yeah.
Oh man, I mean like your what was the melting pot? Oh man,
Yeah.
like oh dude, that was that book changed my life in school, man. I was just like, oh man, this guy's so awesome. So yeah.
Yeah. It ended up not being what I think we originally started. It definitely ended up not being what we originally meant for it to be. There's kind of like a long history with that, not all good on any side, but it was 100%, like a love letter to like heavy metal magazine and Kevin and I's obsession with like Richard Corbin and yeah, man, it was really cool thing to work on. It just didn't pan out the way it was originally started. So
Yeah.
but that happens.
That's how I know Facebook's listening to me, man. Because like literally today, I'm getting like ads for some kind of melting pot trade or something like that, like out of nowhere.
Oh man.
Like just now?
Like earlier today when we were like
Oh.
posting stuff and everything, I went on Facebook and then there was like a full like some kind of ad for like I don't know, some kind of re-release or melting pot or somebody was talking about it or something. I don't know what it
Really?
was.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Maybe it was just somebody talking about it. I'm not sure, but it was something about melting pot.
I still sign them at shows. They still trickle in. I like the sketchbook we did. That one of the Tundra releases. The original sketchbook is the most like, you know, what Melting Pot was going to be, because basically all it was like how Kevin and I developed Melting Pot is he had drawn the Grunts cover, which had like an early version of Lord Tyler on it, the big horn guy. And I think at that point we were really hooking up and hanging out a lot, and that cover was, you know, really, I thought it was amazing. And the more we talked about it, he's like, well, I have this idea for this melting pot thing. And what we did was we each started a sketchbook. And I think I was still in Maine at that time. And we just drew weird shit based on the melting pot discussion we had, the little short melting pot discussion. And then when I would come down to Mass, I'd bring the sketchbook and we'd swap sketchbooks, and he'd take my sketchbook, I'd take his, and then I'd go back and we'd work on it, you know, independently. And we ended up coming up with a lot of, that's when I came up with the Grinner character, which is kind of a spoof of the Misfits anyway. But if you know what the character looks like, he's basically got a devil lock, and he's like a alien devil lock character, I would call him. But yeah, that was kind of a crazy way to work, you know. And then the way we developed the story is we would just get together with the sketchbooks and we'd, you know, grab coffee and just sit and talk the story out amongst, you know, the two of us. And we just kind of talk about, you know, different ideas that we had. And Kevin was kind of like take everything and kind of corral it all, because that really wasn't my strength. My strength was more coming up with crazy images and scenes. I would come up with scenes and then we kind of mesh it into a story. Kind of cool. Never worked that way again. It was pretty awesome though.
That's how all the old Warner Brothers cartoons kind of worked, though. Like the old days, like they didn't have writers on a lot of those. They had story meetings, and then they would draw sketches and kind of build off of that. There was never a script. Like the old Bugs Bunny, like all the classic ones, because I think the idea was we're making a visual medium, so we have to work visually.
Right.
Which is totally opposite to what people do now, because even like manga, they kind of work that way. It's like everything works that way, but like American comics. Funny enough.
So they would just take and sit down and come up with crazy ideas and turn them into, like, string them together into a cartoon form.
Yeah, I think Chuck Jones used to say like they had meetings where nobody was allowed to say no. Like that was like the big thing. So you just had to like throw up ideas, and I think they would just build off of that.
That's pretty
from
cool,
what I remember.
Actually.
Yeah.
That kind of explains a lot. That shit was pretty out there. That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
I think even as a little kid, I figured out that stuff was kind of insane. It wasn't like anything else.
See, I love that we're talking about sketchbooks. I see Up and Adam's talking about he's got a sketchbook that he's actually going. One of the commenters is saying he has a sketchbook that he's going back and forth with a friend building a comic story. I think that's a super cool idea. That's like back in the day when we were doing like a lot of the you know, I remember I used to go to small press shows and people would give a page, they draw one panel, you draw one panel, and you just pass it on. You know, it was always kind of a fun
story panel.
Yeah, it's like because yeah, literally like somebody drew one panel and then you pass the page to someone else and then you draw one panel and you draw whatever you want and they have to build off of that other panel.
And then I do remember that kind of stuff too.
It's kind of an old thing. It hasn't I haven't seen it in a real long time.
I had a really cool sketchbook going where, and I thought about reviving it, but I started it and I drew a page and then I'd give it to a different artist and they would draw the next page and they would draw based on what the page in front of them, you know, gave them, but they could kind of riff in any direction they wanted. So things would go out of control, you know, like like they would artists would see things in the page that weren't obvious to somebody else, or somebody didn't obviously know about, and it
Right.
would go all over the place. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's very free form. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I was gonna say the only one I remember of doing that I actually remember is I think I was in high school. Somebody at the panel before it was like my head itches, and then I drew like somebody pulling an axe out of the back of their head. That's all I remember. I don't remember anything else
Wow.
about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a way to break people out of the. One of the things that always happens to me at shows is people will bring me their stuff and they say, can you look at my stuff? And I always look at it, and we're all guilty of the same thing. Is when you're kind of growing into art, you never want to draw the hard stuff. You always want to draw the stuff you're more comfortable drawing, because it's just a natural way to approach this stuff, But you'll never get better drawing the stuff you're used to drawing, like me drawing these same skulls all the time. But the only way to get better is to force yourself out of your comfort zone and fuck things up and make mistakes, which I've talked about that a lot about sketchbooks. My approach to sketchbooks is new people trying to learn how to draw is, get a sketchbook that's for you only. I'm going to probably say this way too many times during these podcasts, but get a sketchbook that you draw in only and make all the mistakes you can, so you can kind of grow as an artist. If you're drawing to try to create a masterpiece every time, you're not going to grow. You draw the same drawing every time.
Yeah, Kennon, do you regularly keep a sketchbook? Are you a sketchbook guy?
No, not really. I mean, I carry it all over the place because I feel like I am supposed to, but man, I hardly ever no, not really. I mean, I've got a sketchbook here. This sketchbook I started here. Let me see. This sketchbook goes back. My first
That's
sketch
cool.
in this one was 10/3/21. So
yeah.
I've only done maybe 20 pages in this thing. So
what kind of sketchbook is it? That's what we're going to nerd out now. What's
it's just a cheap one from Barnes and Noble, whatever.
Yeah.
It's funny because I do a lot of work on just regular printer paper.
Mike Dooney used to do that, and other artists used to do that. Do you do it to free up, the blank canvas stress, or do you just like the surface? You know what I'm saying about like how some people, they get a really nice piece of paper and they don't want to screw it up, so they end up getting artist block and not drawing anything.
Kind of, but I mean, I got my process for a long time was I would do I would do a thumbnail in my sketchbook, and then I would scan it, and then I would rough over it in Photoshop, and then I would print that out on printer paper, and then I would ink just right on the top of the printout.
What are you using for ink? What do you use?
These days I'm using a Zebra brush pen.
These are brush pens, yeah.
Yeah, the Zebra.
Oh yeah,
pretty awesome.
I use those. I use those for comic convention commissions. They have a nice line weight. Using a lot of brown pencil, if I remember right.
Yep. That's what I'm using tonight.
I think you got me on that. I think I was using the colored pencils, but what do you do, John? Do you use like a standard graphite pencil, or? I mean, you don't pencil a lot as it is, right?
Yeah, and it's really becoming a problem. I mean, I keep painting myself in the corners, man. Like everything takes longer because I'm just such an undisciplined penciler. These days, because I'm doing a lot of painted work, like pencil work, or I mean, like watercolor work, I have to use a graphite pencil, which I actually really dislike.
Do you?
I prefer a blue pencil because my problem with the graphite pencil is that I can't see values with it. Like, I don't know, maybe the graphite's too dark, but I just can't see the values I'm laying down with the ink. So I have to use I prefer to use blue pencil, but I'm getting more used to it. But
do you hate how I got issues with that when you start painting, you start laying stuff in, sometimes the graphite can muddy up the work that you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. So that's why I prefer blue pencil, but lately I haven't been using it.
Right.
I used to do like actually when I was younger, I used to do a lot of the copy paper stuff and all that as well.
Same thing Kennon's talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the reason why I even did it is like I looked at a lot of like New Yorker comic artists and stuff, or comic strip guys when I was a kid, and like they were all about like the cheapest way to do things. So a lot of them would draw those New Yorker cartoons on like printer paper back in the
Oh,
day.
shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I get the idea of like using cheap paper and let the skill come through. You can if you got the skill, you can do anything with the tools don't matter and all that. But with dip pens and the watercolor, I use a lot of water, a lot of wet media, and that the shitty paper doesn't hold up. It's really, I kind of lean into more like better paper these days. Like I'm always looking for like, I don't know, like mixed media paper, and I love all the Strathmore product basically.
I love buying new art supplies. I've just gotten lazy over the years.
Well, you're doing a lot of digital too, right? Yeah. John, do you do digital ever?
Yeah, I have. I mean, I actually do. Like when I do storyboard work, I'll do it on the iPad these days, just because it saves time scanning. Like storyboard work, I try to get done as quickly as possible. So
Right.
whatever gets done. And during pandemic, I was actually working for a mobile game where I was actually doing a lot of Photoshop painting, believe it or not.
I think we talked about that a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
What does it look like? Does it look like
Uh,
you're crazy shit? Do you like do you find brushes that will like scumble across the page, or does it look different than your normal stuff?
It looks pretty different. I mean, the game itself it's basically kind of like pseudo D&D art is basically what I was doing.
Oh, so you're not really drawing in your style. You're just
Yeah, and then I remember at one point that Hellboy movie came out, and then I painted some cards based on that Hellboy movie because they had some kind of weird licensing deal with that.
okay.
I can't remember the name of the game, but the problem I was having was I fell asleep while painting on Photoshop. I need to touch paper, so like I would fall asleep in front of the iPad or computer every time I was working.
I've kind of like gotten used to the iPad through tattooing. I was very anti-digital and anti-stabilization. I was kind of being kind of whiny about it. And then I started tattooing, and I got somebody they got a new iPad and they gave me their old one, and it was a smaller one, and I was kind of messing around with it. And I realized that, like every day I draw my tattoo, I have to make a stencil that cleanly goes, through the stencil machine. It does a nice clean stencil to get on skin, blah, blah, blah. And then I started getting used to the iPad. And now I'm kind of like, at times it's too clean. It's like,
Yep.
I'm a big nib guy. I like the spatter. I like what John's do. I love all that kind of toothbrushy shit. And I can't do that. So what I do is I spatter on paper, scan it in, and then create a layer and just drop like the same spatter of paper into every piece I do now digitally. Because it's, just what I have to do. But it's like, it's still a little too clean. It's also like a trap, I think. I don't know if I'm explaining this right. It's like you could really quickly fall into bad habits using digital all the time.
Yeah, I actually use it for separating silk screens and like doing silk screen layers. Every once in a while, if I'm on like a deadline crunch, I'll do like actual digital layers, like paint layers with like textured brushes. But most times, 9 times out of 10, I actually draw everything on paper and spend tons of time scanning it and then laying it out in Photoshop, which takes so much time.
Yeah, scanning is I know what you're saying there. I've been dealing with that lately with like old sketchbooks and stuff.
Yeah.
You could spend a whole day scanning. It's a nightmare. It's not my favorite.
Got a question here from the chat. Is there a preferred method for getting a project together? Like, do you guys stick strictly to a script, or do you prefer winging it to a degree? I guess this would be with like a personal project or a new book that you guys are setting sights on.
Ken?
Well, I mean, I mainly work with clients that have art specs pretty well defined, so I haven't had a whole lot of freedom to just do my own thing lately, which is kind of crazy because I'm about to start a project and do an 8-page sequential story, and I get to do the whole thing. So I'm kind of nervous about that kind of freedom. So
yeah, freedom can be intimidating.
Yeah. So but usually, I mean, all the work I've done recently, it's client work, and they have they pretty much know what they want. So
yeah, usually I think, like what you're asking, a lot of times like clients, like the stuff, they really do have specific stuff. But John, with the comics you're doing, are you working from a script? Are you writing it yourself? What, like what?
For heavy metal, I'm doing my own thing, which I am thrilled about because nobody ever lets me do that. But they seem to be really cool with it. So I've been able to get like really abstract with it, and
Do
really
you
great.
write
Like the
yourself a
first,
script?
no, never.
You don't.
Because
Okay.
I'm trying to make like, I'm not trying to do like I'm not trying to do like straightforward sequential art. I'm trying to do something that's like has like usually some sense of surrealism or some
Right.
sense of absurdity. It doesn't have to be linear, So because of that, I just draw straight up. I mean, the first story I did for heavy metal, there was a script for it, and I cut out the entire script at the very end and just didn't letter it.
Right. Nice.
Because I felt like it didn't need it. And then the next one was like really kind of cartoony and then had like all kinds of dialogue and but they've been super cool. They're kind of just letting me do my thing, which I'm always like shocked about, and I'm always expecting them to like go like, hey, enough of this. But so far they've been really cool, so I've been enjoying it.
Another question from Up and Adam, John, just going off the heavy metal thing. Are you doing it more than the first 2 issues, or how long is it going?
I don't know. There's going to be something in the 3rd issue. I'm focusing on cul-de-sac. I'm happy that everybody's been enjoying that. So,
Heavy metal would be my that would be my bucket list job, which well, my stuff ended up in heavy metal, but not really. It's ended up through the Melting Pot stuff being republished by Kevin.
Oh,
so I'm kind of jealous and envious of you. Do you get to work with Heavy Metal Magazine?
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks. I mean, not to sound too nerdy, but the reason why I'm getting so wild with it is because that's how the 70s guys were. So I'm kind of like paying tribute because like, all those guys, they felt no need to be linear or make standard comic book stories. So I was like, if they were that way, I don't have to be that way, So
right. Well, especially heavy metal, man. Heavy metal, even if it was linear, a lot of that stuff got translated so poorly that the stories suffered and the art had to carry everything. At least that's the way I kind of heard or understand it. I could be wrong with everything I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, Airtight Garage is still one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah. Me too.
And
I got that first. Did I ever tell you? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say real quick, my understanding is he drew that on the fly too. I don't think there's a script for that either, but I could be wrong.
I love hearing those stories with him, Drouillet. They were like, I don't know, man. They were doing cool shit.
I've got my Arzak right here on the floor next to me. I've been referencing a lot lately.
Yeah.
I love that thing.
It's my favorite piece of comic work, the original. It's on my my iPad screen.
Stuff still doesn't come out in English.
Ken and Alex Bates says you draw the best bugbears ever.
Nice. Is that a friend of yours?
Yeah.
He knows about the book.
Yeah.
Kennon was telling us about the bug. Why don't you tell us about Bugbear, Kennon?
So yeah, I got a job from a company called the Merry Mushman, which is in Europe, I think in France, and they are doing they're doing a game where you get to play the monsters instead of the normal archetypes. And they gave me a list. They gave me the guidelines like, hey, we want you to draw some monsters sitting in a bar talking. And then they gave me a list of like 50 monsters, and I get to pick whatever monsters I wanted. But they just said, so of course I picked out a couple of the classics, like Bugbear, Knoll, and when I got such good response when I posted it on social, I was like, oh, that's cool. So I did another one, and that was kind of a hit too. So I've kind of just been riffing on bugbears lately. And then I got this gig to do an 8-page story. So I figured, well, I'm just going to do a story about a bugbear. So
I'm not really up on the D&D stuff, but bugbear is like one of the creatures that just exists in the world. It's not like
it's just like an orc or a goblin or
Gotcha.
like. So yeah, so I'm kind of trying to figure out what I want my main character to look like. I haven't put a lot of time in the concept of the main character yet.
It's very cool. Your line work is so good, dude. I love the, I don't know. I've talked to you about that before. Like where do you like what brought you to art? Like what was like the artist that hit you? Like me, I always talk about Frazetta when I it's clearly Frazetta when I was young, made me go, hey, there's something to all this. It had an effect on me.
Well, my dad went to school for architecture, so he had this giant art table in our house when I was growing up, and that kind of started my fascination with the whole thing. And my dad would always give me a healthy dose of art books, I still own most of them. And he got me the Frazetta books, and he got me he'd give me these things called like I'm looking at one. It's called Dream Makers, and it's got it was the one that had like 6 or 7 different artists in it, and each one of them had like 5 or 6 pages in it. And then I was an avid comic book reader when I was a kid. Like John Byrne was God to me in the early 80s. So
I think everybody back then.
I wanted to be a comic book guy big time, and tried my hand at that field and just floundered and didn't do very well, and plus I was trying to be a rock star. I played in a band for like 7 years, and that didn't really work out, obviously. So I kind of got sidetracked, but to answer your question, it was all the fantasy guys, but I didn't know anything about painting, so I couldn't.
Did you go to art school?
I went to art. Well, I went to the Art Institute of Houston for advertising. So it's funny. I kind of kept my illustration stuff under wraps because I knew most of the instructors didn't really either appreciate it or want to see it for projects, but and then when I got to do our final stuff, I got to do all the stuff I wanted to do, and a lot of the instructors were like, where's this been the whole time?
Oh, nice. So they were like, fail, we're gonna fail.
Yeah. So I got response that I wasn't expecting, so that was kind of kind of cool. But
What did your dad think of all this stuff? Like, did you ever think you'd follow in his footsteps?
well,
Doing,
my dad went to school for architecture, but he
right.
pivoted as well, and didn't think he could raise a family doing it, so he went into the military early, and he kind of just followed that path, and so he was.
Right. John, did you have support from your parents, your parent? I don't know your history, but did you have like I personally had support from my mom, who had nothing, and it's kind of weird when I look back on it. I'm like, man, I didn't know how cool she was to me, to make me feel like this was not like, I never got like, oh, well, what are you doing? I never got that kind of shit from anybody in like, my mom, basically. It was super supportive.
Yeah, my parents were supportive. I mean, they sent me to art classes and stuff like that. But the funny thing was they were supportive because they thought it was a phase, or at least my mom thought it was a phase.
Nice.
So she was like, "Oh, it's something to do," and she's like, "You'll grow out of it." And then
Right.
I kind of never did. And
No.
the only thing that kind of, but they still supported me. They sent me to art classes even though they kind of weren't too into it.
Right.
But at first I was going to go into movies and stuff like that. And when it was like that, when it was on the computer, they were extremely supportive because it's a nice paycheck and everything.
Right.
But I gave that all up to just
so like movie character design, stuff like that.
Character design, stuff like that. I learned 3D very early on. When I was 19, I was offered a job at Capcom USA, which I did not deserve. I was not good enough for it.
Oh, no shit.
But somehow I weaseled my way in, and I actually turned that down. But because I wanted to draw, the 3D thing just wasn't for me.
Right.
And then I was actually painting digitally back then using Photoshop, and got a lot of flack from the teachers about that too at the time, which is funny to hear now.
Yeah. Wait, Shaq, what is that pen you're using?
Oh, I'm using a brush that's just falling apart. It's a Sumi brush. It's I bought a new one to replace this, and apparently this thing has such a fine line because it's totally worn out, because the new one's super fat. So I guess I just have to use this when this is done. This is done. I don't think I can have anything to replace it with.
That's not the same one I saw in Seattle, is it? You had one in Seattle that was pretty beat, but
probably not. I mean, this is just something, we're kind of bullshitting and everything, so this is like a nice lazy tool for me to use. That's what I kind of use it for.
You kind of get super detail with that thing. I think that's pretty interesting. I've seen you mess with that thing before. Kennon, you ever use like brushes and India ink anymore, or you kind of like deadlines force you not to do that kind of shit?
No, not really. No, honestly, not really. No, I don't.
Were you ever like a brush guy or like?
No, I was always kind of a felt tip, and then I discovered brush pens, and they changed my whole style. I really changed the way I did things.
I had no choice. There wasn't that kind of stuff when I started. A lot of the turtle stuff we inked, we all had this like old Tombow pen, which was it's kind of like a ballpoint pen. I don't know. We had cases of those freaking things. I don't know which artist maybe it was Kevin or Pete that liked those things, but we all ended up using the same pen. And maybe we used it because it was good on the Doer shade. I don't know. But
how did you guys do the grayscale on the?
That was the Doer shade. It's a paper. Let me see if I have a piece here somewhere. It's a. What do I got here? It's a photographic paper that has the pattern built into it.
Somebody asked me that the other day, and I think that's the same stuff. And you use a chemical to bring out one color, and then use another color to use out the darker color or something like that, right?
Absolutely. If I have one, I'll show you. Flipping through my comic book here. I don't know if I have any Doer shade pieces left.
I've always wanted to use that stuff.
Yeah, me too. I was blown away.
I have it. I still have a bunch of it. All right, I'll show you the toner real quick. How do I give you people seem to take this kind of shit. Maybe I have a sketch card. I cleaned my studio today. Now I can't find anything.
Why you don't clean your studio?
I know. Shit. What is it? Oh, I know what I can show you. I'll show you an old piece of turtle art. I'll show you what Do a Shade looks like later. This might have been my first. I saw this today. My wife has been archiving everything. This is my first turtle story. If what's in here is what oh no, that's not it. Shit.
I was like, I'd love to see that, man.
Well, you're not going to see it now. All right, so this is Do a Shade Vellum, which I guess is I can show you this. Something I did with Jim Lawson for an Ubisoft video game. So you can see here. I don't know why we ended up doing on vellum. Maybe we started the book on regular paper, and then mid-project they were like, well, can you guys do that on Do a Shade? And then we decided to then, finish the book on Do a Shade. So because it was drawn, the only way to get it into the Do a Shade format is to basically, this is Do a Shade vellum. It's a thin piece of Do a Shade material that you could just run through the copier and then tone. But if you look at this thing is burnt out hard. So Do a Shade vellum doesn't hold up like regular Do a Shade paper. You can see all the darks in here are really, really starting to just bleed around and get super dark. But basically the paper has like a little 2 different direction lines printed into it. And we use this developer. This is the light tone. It's just like pretty much water, and the dark tone for the black cap. And when you develop it, the light tone will develop, and again, it's really hard to see on this thing, but it will develop lines that go in one direction, and it's usually a light gray. And the dark tone will develop lines going in both directions, like an overlap crosshatch, right. And that's usually dark brown. So that's what ends up making the look of all those old turtle books. But it's hard to see on this. This thing is really getting burned out. It's unfortunate, but never use vellum. That's the moral of that story.
I didn't even know it came on vellum, to be honest. Yeah, I always wanted to use it just because John Bird, when I was a kid, had that OMAC book that he used all the Do a Shade on. So
yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did.
No shit. This is weird. This is just sitting in there. This is me doing like just brushy shit to lay in backgrounds on brick walls and stuff. So this is the kind when I was talking earlier about like I would make spatter sheets. I do the same thing with Do a Shade and make weird patterns that I could like digitally apply into finished pages on the computer. And you can see here, this is the photo paper that it's stacked with. It will even eat into the paper that it's against too. So Do a Shade is really cool, but it's just so unstable. Like when you think about all the Wally Wood stuff that was done on it. Oh, did you guys see recently the Frazetta ink piece that just went for like $1.3 million or something like that?
No,
you know what I'm talking about? It's the one where there's like it's like a spaceship with a guy standing on it in space, pointing a gun at a couple. Like
yep, the black and white one, right?
Right. That thing went for over $1 million. It's Do a Shade, so it's like it's cool that it went for that, but it doesn't. I mean, the surface is like it's. I don't know. It's.
I wish I'd have known when I was in my 20s that you could do comic book pages that small, because all the stuff out there said that you had to work super big, and I thought there was like certain rules you had to follow, and I didn't feel comfortable doing work that big, and
having it reproduce weird.
I had trouble filling the space. I was just used to working relatively small, and
I think why we did it was honestly it was a cost measure, because when Kevin Pete first started the Duoshade paper was pretty expensive. You'd buy it in like big sheets, and they'd cut it up so they could. Right. Yeah, that's the piece right there, Eli. So they would just cut that up. So they ended up just doing those original pages, maybe 10% bigger than the actual printed comics. Right. So it was kind of a cost-cutting thing. Yeah, look at that thing, man.
I thought he painted over that. I thought he watercolored over a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, that's all Duoshade. What did it go for? 2 million? Wait a minute. Oh no, make an offer. Yeah, let's pool our money. Is that a man? That guy. That stuff still gets me.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I went to the Punk Rock Museum like a week after I saw that sold, and I saw a old school like punk flyer too that used that. That was a well-loved piece back in the day, it seems like.
Use that image on a punk flyer?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's actually what I like most. That's what I find most striking about your work, actually, Kennon, because it reminds me of those old punk rock flyers. You know,
nice.
the old days of like that, which I absolutely love. I love those things so much. And it's like the old days of like super crosshatchy, super little lines, and it's just like a flyer on a pole. And I don't know, I just got that impression from your work.
Cool.
Did you ever see his beer posters? There was like a beer fest poster, I think.
Yeah, it was a music fest festival that was going on at a local brewery. That I was trying to channel some heavy metal energy on those for sure.
Nice.
Were those silk screened or were those like just digitally printed?
Those were silk screened. I actually, those were my first and only foray into getting actual silk screens done.
How'd you like it?
It was cool. They weren't as popular as I hoped they were going to be. You you never know what's going to sell. You think, oh man, I got a great idea, and then you do it. And, oh, it's not such a great idea. Not worth it. But yeah, they came out great. What's that?
I said it never works that way.
Yeah, or the ones you don't think will be that, get that kind of response, or people really.
I feel like I have shit that I won't post, and it's sitting in my folder, and I'm like, I don't want to post that thing. And then I post it like a month later, and everybody freaks out, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, why? What the hell?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Real
quick, I was going to address a couple of comments real quick before we forget about them. Dale asked, which pen am I using? It's the Sumi brush. Mark wants to know, how clear is the image in your heads before you put pencil to paper? Or do you mostly roll with it and just let it evolve?
Evolve for me.
That's a good question. Sometimes it's really clear, and sometimes it's like I just kind of flounder until it makes itself known. Like with client work, sometimes I'll just start drawing and have no idea what's going to happen.
Floundering in pen and ink, though, is risky.
Absolutely. Do you have to submit a lot of roughs and thumbnails for the client stuff? Or I'm assuming you do, right?
Generally, I give them a round of simple roughs first, just to kind of give them an idea of like what I'm like layout, or
right.
And then they'll say or move this, or like I was. And then I'll give them another tighter rough after that. Or if I'm pretty close with a rough, I'll just go ahead and go to final.
Are these repeat clients that trust your process, or are these you like dealing with new people?
I'd say it's about half. Some are clients that, I have a rotating, clients that I'm pretty much always working with. And then I have a lot of new ones as well.
I think we talked about this a little last time, John and I, about how it's like clients that come in, for you to do something and then try to kind of keep pushing you away from what you're good at, It's like not trusting your process. It's like why you wonder sometimes why they hire you in the first place.
Oh man, dude. Yeah, I just got done with a job like that, and it was pretty clear as I was in the job that I was working for an agency that had found me to do the illustration, but they were also working with the client, and I could tell that.
So it was like a middleman?
Yeah, well, they were like an agency, and they were doing all the graphics and the
I see what you're saying.
typography, but they needed illustration work, and
Right.
but I could tell in the process that the work was going through like an army of people process or through reviews, and yeah, it didn't go well.
I think a lot of art directors are that way now. There's like always like a committee, or not all the time. Actually, to be honest, it's pretty rare for me. But it does come up sometimes, and it does make things like a lot harder, you know.
Well, the more people you add to the process, and if people get invited or included in that process, I feel like a lot of them feel like they need to have an opinion, or they're not contributing. So,
got to justify their job.
Yeah, exactly. So,
better say something. I didn't do that to you when you were doing that turtle stuff, right? Did I edit you?
I hope you did. That'd be an interesting story if you did.
We can make
no, there was
that guy sucked.
Yeah.
John, we got another question here for you about what other stuff you're working on besides cul-de-sac and heavy metal. People want more.
Well, cul-de-sac will be wrapping up. After that, I don't know what I'm doing. I hope to take a break for a little while, for a couple months. I have my own projects that I'm. I have like my sketchbook that I'm working on that I'm publishing, and then I also have like just kind of my own experimental comics I want to work on, and just general. It'd be nice to sit down and just make some paintings for a little while, actually, to be honest. So maybe that's next. I don't know.
Jason Jones also makes a really good point here, saying some important stuff. Shaggy fur at dawn. Club rests heavy in his gasp. Forest holds its breath. I mean, we can all relate to that.
Can someone explain to me what that means?
Not exactly.
I know. I'm not sure. Is that Kennon's character?
No, I don't know what that is.
Okay.
What did I just read?
I feel you, man.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good one, I guess, for all three of y'all. Anybody? Oh, sorry, wait, not that one. But Up and Adam Comics is saying, is anyone taking any commissions currently?
Man, I'm always taking commissions.
Yeah, so hit that guy up. I'm currently not taking commissions. I can't handle it right now.
I can't either.
I need rest time. I need video game time, and then after I get a little bit of that, then it's commission time.
What kind of games do you play?
Not much anymore. I just play first-person shooters. I just like to fight people. Do you play games too?
I do. Yeah, I'm a big gamer.
What are you playing?
Man, I put a lot of time into Valheim. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's kind of my just relax, chill game. It's basically Vikings Minecraft. It's basically what it is. So
building meat halls.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I need that kind of game, man. All my, FPSs used to be really relaxing, like Call of Duty and that, but they've gotten really competitive lately. Like they're very sweaty these days.
Yeah, my video game time is kind of my just chill. And
Yeah.
I have nothing to add to that.
Well, I shouldn't be playing anymore. I'm probably too old to be playing, so it's probably good I haven't had time lately.
Man, if it brings you joy, man,
That's right. Brings you joy that's not hurting anybody. Oh my god. Sorry. They're not even my dogs. Where's your cat, John?
They're asleep. This is sleeping time, man. I just
Nice.
fed them, so they're done with me. After I feed them, they're not interested in what I'm doing.
So we can talk about now. Let's talk about
Oh, you know what? I just thought of something that I was going to ask earlier, but it didn't go with the flow of the conversation because it's kind of a weird thing. But you were talking about sketchbooks with Kevin at Tundra, right? And
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, the melting pot thing, yes.
yeah. So like, one of the reasons why I draw the way I do and why I do so much sketchbook stuff is because of that Baron Story book that was published, the Marat de Sade.
He did that, right? That was one of the Tundra books.
Yeah, and it's a really strange book to publish. So I was wondering, was that Kevin? Is he just into like weird? Because none of the other books he published were like that. It was like Marat de Sade, and then that was it. You know?
I don't really know exactly. All I would say is that like he was such a fan of artists that he was out there for a while, just trying to bring people in to do their dream projects. And I would probably be willing to say that he was hooking up with like Dave McKean and Sienkiewicz and George Pratt and all them, and they were all kind of disciples of that Baron Story guy. Correct? Am I wrong in that, or am I right in that? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like,
you're totally right in that.
Right. So while Kevin might not have been like the biggest Baron Story fan, and again, I'm speaking from the way I think it probably went. I think that when he did that kind of stuff, he let the creative people do the creative stuff, especially in the beginning. So if he would have given them control. Are you talking about the content or the way the book was published? Because I don't actually remember the book all that much.
The content and the way the book is published, and the only reason why I bring it up is that book literally changed everything for me. Like it changed my perspective. It changed how comics were drawn, what artwork meant. It I was impressionable. I was like 15, so it like kind of just changed everything. So
because it was unorthodox, because of the content, because of the what?
It's unorthodox, the content of it. It was just him like doing these like just really strange sketchbook pages. And I found out actually last year it's not even a sketchbook, but and it's like just this abstract kind of expressions of himself that are very incredibly dense and hard to decipher, and they probably only mean something to him.
No shit.
And that really spoke to me at the time. So yeah, that stuff. So
yeah, I would. Yeah. Oh, let me see it. Oh yeah, you definitely see George Pratt loving that and that crew.
Yeah, but
is he still around? Baron Story, or is he?
Yeah, he's in San Francisco.
He's older than oh, he still is. Yeah.
Yeah. He's he was well-known illustrator. Like the two things you'd probably know is he did the cover to Lord of the Flies with the boy's face. Yeah. And he did that, and then he did the space shuttle thing that was in everybody's classroom in the 80s. The space shuttle drawing, whatever. But anyway, Baron was a big deal for me. So anyway, I just had to ask before I forgot. So anyway, carry on.
Yeah, I don't really know if I have an answer fully, but it was definitely like Kevin was all about like people's visions coming out and supporting artists that he, in his mind, I think what he wanted Tundra to be was, he wanted, I don't want to go too deep. I don't want to get in trouble here. He wanted to give people the ability to do their dream project. And we might have talked about this offline a little bit, but the problem with that is that, you pay somebody to do their dream project. Artists generally, not all artists, but artists generally will use that money to live and won't get the project done fully unless there's money hanging on the hook. You know what I'm saying? Unless there's some kind of incentive to get that week to week work done. And, once that's gone, they got to pay the bills. So the dream project just, I think, kept falling off. And I think that's kind of how a lot of that stuff went. But again, as I always say, this is my view of that stuff. I was there, but that's kind of how I saw it. I could be completely wrong, but being an artist and knowing the drill, you can't get paid up front. It can really mess you up.
Yeah.
Something I was thinking about today, I want to ask you guys. So part of this whole thing of this, whatever we're going to call this thing, the sketchbook live stream, comes from, my love of the sketchbook form, like sketchbook art, like it's, do you think that's is that the same with you guys? Is that, every time I've ever seen a book that had the rough stuff in the back, I loved looking at that way more than any of the finished illustrations. It's I don't know. It meant more to me, and the stuff is more emotional. Is that kind of a thing with a lot of artists, do you think, or is?
Yeah, because you can kind of see the thought process, right? You can kind of see how they worked it all out.
Yeah. But do you think that's a selective thing with some people, or is that kind of like most artists universally love?
I think most people like to see. I mean, I get a lot of response when I just post sketches,
right?
Which is kind of like what you said about posting stuff, thinking, well, this is kind of half baked, but I'll post it, and then it gets a lot of good response, so.
I've definitely done a lot of those posting half-baked stuff. I love it.
Have you guys ever posted stuff and you second guess it and you just take it down? Have y'all done that? I do that all the time. Like I'll post something and like an hour later I'm like, that sucks, and I just pull it down.
I've never done that. The only time I'll do that is if I screw things up and I misspell a bunch of stuff, or then I'll try to pull it down fast and correct it. But I don't know. I don't know, man. I wouldn't do that. I'd just throw it up there and let it be.
Yeah,
that'd be my advice.
Just let it live, and I've put out plenty of pieces of fucked up artwork that I'm embarrassed of. At this point, I don't care. I mean, I've done stuff that went to print that I was like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is due in a couple days. This probably won't work, this technique I'm going to use, but I'm going to do it anyway, just so I can. And then by that point, I'm like, oh, wow, this is really messed up illustration, because I took a risk on it. It's going to print. I guess I'm going to have to live with that. So
yeah, there is a point that you do get to a point where it's like, all right, I bit this off. I got to keep going because I don't have time to start over. And you kind of have to keep digging that hole. Yeah. I run into that now, and it's pretty fucking stressful. I'll be 100% honest. Like I tend to do my tattoo stuff. I draw it morning of, and if it's a complex tattoo, I'll draw it. I'll rough stuff out so it can sit in my head a little while. And some mornings I get up, and I usually get up say 6 o'clock, and I got to be in the shop by 10 to do the tattoo for the day. And sometimes I kind of just keep going with something, and then you hit that point where you're like, oh shit, I gotta make this work. There is no other option. That client's coming in. I gotta make this work, and I gotta do a nice piece for them. And I think the process of doing that kind of stuff and learning to tattoo has made it easier on me to fly by the seat of my pants and trust the process. I think is what it is. You really got to trust that. I don't know, man. Trust in yourself. I wouldn't take shit down. I wouldn't do that. Somebody out there is going to love it.
Probably. You hope.
Yeah.
Are we missing any questions from anybody?
Trying to stay on top of it here. I think we got most of them.
Yeah.
Mr.
Menifee says he loves the Goblin, Kennon.
Oh, thank you.
I love the Goblin too. Journey Person says we're finding something too much can make a piece look boring. That's 100% true. That's what I'm talking about with sketchbooks, man. Do you guys light box, or do you like come up with a rough and just draw it on the page? Do you?
I draw things on the page because, like I said, I've made peace with messing up and putting the artwork out there. So I kind of treat it as like what goes on the page is. I treat everything, even illustration work, as a document at this point. So I'm just like whatever's on the page is a document of what happened at this point and is going to print. So I kind of just live with things that way now.
I don't think that's very normal what you're doing. I think that's kind of cool. I think it's like what I'm gathering from that is your body of work it's never finished. It's all interconnected in some ways. Am I wrong? What do you think of that?
I guess so. I wish there was that much thought into it, but
right.
Yeah, no, it's just I just more and more I'm approaching everything like my sketchbook. Because this sketchbook, if money wasn't an issue, this is what I'd be working on at all times.
Right.
You know, because
damn, dude, that's a good bit.
You know, this is what I love, and it's just this is where I feel like the best expression of my work. And,
right. What kind of book is that? Is that like a Canson book, or?
Yeah, it's a
hardbound.
It's a piece of crap Canson book, and I can't believe it held up, to be honest.
They're pretty good. I didn't like those. I did a job for Canson, and I got like a whole case of books, and it was like, I got a case of black sketchbooks, and I never really liked them. But the more I used them, in that same process, I talk about all the sketchbooks for yourself. That's what I did it in the Canson books, and I drew on each side of the paper and never tore a page out. I learned so much doing that, but that Canson paper is durable as hell.
Yeah.
It's not the best paper, but it can take a beating.
It does. And there's a lot of paper doesn't these days, funny enough.
Yeah.
So
I like seeing sketchbooks at cons, if I may, Wayshack. Every time you're at a convention, I try to bring every single person I can over to see your sketchbook because it's absolutely insane. It's like,
thanks, man.
Do you show people the book? Do you leave it out for people to look at? Oh, I think you do that, right?
Yeah.
I think I've seen you do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
It's so sick.
Have I met you, Kennon? Have I met you at a show? Or
that was me, Eli, saying that.
Yeah, but... you have not met me.
Okay.
No.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, no, I let people go through it and just kind of whatever. Again, it's part of the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah, I think that was Eli talking.
Oh, Eli. Okay.
That was
lost here.
Yeah,
oh, man.
It's all good.
Sorry about that, man.
It's all good, dude. Yeah, we do have a few questions here. Like, will any of you guys be at New York Comic Con or OAX, the Original Art Expo in Orlando?
Not I.
Neither. I'm not going to. Maybe if OAX, if they invite me, I'll go, but not New York.
I've got it in there with the OAX guys. I can put you guys in there if you want. Put your name in.
I'll be at OAX and I'll be at New York Comic Con this year.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so.
I might come visit you, dude. I'm going to see if they'll give me a pro badge and come hang out, see you. I'll look at your sketchbook.
Okay, cool.
And Up and Adam Comics is asking, like, what's a dream comic you guys would work on if you could? It could be anything in the world. Like, even think about, like, I feel like you guys could kill like The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing comic or something. Like, what's like anything in the world?
Oh yeah, that sounds pretty awesome.
I don't know.
That's a good question.
You stumped him, Adam.
For me, it's just my own stuff. You know, the fantasy of having a big collection of my own stuff in an actual bookstore.
I think comics I don't think I'll be doing comics ever again. Like, almost. Some days I'm like, shit, I'd love to, you know, if you follow my stuff, you'll definitely see my style has changed pretty pretty drastically over the past 10 years or so. I think my style is kind of, I don't know, you look at my old stuff. I cringe when I see it, but I'm getting better at appreciating it for what it is. But I don't know, man. The comics just, I don't know. It just doesn't hold any appeal for me, unfortunately. Because it's also never been easy for me. I've never been, I would consider myself ever been a really a comic artist. I think I did it, because I was there, but like I grew up with the heavy metal. Like I could see maybe doing like it would be cool to do some like wild stories in short comic form. So maybe that's what would be my dream project.
I'd like
I don't think I have the attention span. You do?
I love
the
short story.
Do you ever get to
form.
do it? Is anybody publishing that kind of shit these days?
Well, they sell very poorly. That's the problem with the anthology stuff. I did one with my friends years ago.
But, what's that, Eli?
I can think of at least one publisher that's publishing comics. Sorry, go ahead, Wayshak.
That's good.
But yeah, I like the short story format. I prefer working in it, actually. I don't have much of a desire to do a whole series.
All right. If you were going to do comics, it would be creator owned. There's no Batman fantasy of you doing a Batman story or Superman or.
I guess. I want to do. I think I'm very inappropriate for Spider-Man, but I'd like to do one Spider-Man just to draw it with the big McFarlane eyes, and that's it. You know?
What about you, Kennon?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I'm more concentrating on my own stuff and developing my own projects than. I mean, there's IPs that I love, of course, but I mean, the thing is like you hit the head on the nail, or you hit the nail on the head with that. I mean, that's like one of my favorite movies ever. So
yeah, was that a right time, right place, or is that movie just is that good? Because so many like peers, like I worship that movie too. It's just like
I don't know, man. I mean, it's just great. I was just so.
Right.
I don't know. It just didn't try so hard, and it just nailed it.
I feel like sometimes, like the stuff that we grew up on that we love so much, you try to show to your kids. You try to show to you try to look at it with fresh eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like the impressionable teenager thing. I personally believe it holds up, but I wonder sometimes about my own judgment.
Well, my
I'm sorry,
22-year-old son, he loves it too. So
yeah,
I don't know if he's weird like me, but yeah.
Yeah, I had because I love that movie, and I actually came into it late. I didn't watch it until maybe 10 years ago. That was the first time I saw it. Yeah, and I thought it was brilliant. Like as a genre film, it's absolutely brilliant, and almost perfect, as perfect as you can get.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, I showed it to some teenagers, and they thought it was the funniest movie in the world. And,
oh, that's good.
Because I still find the Thing like really freaky. Like there are things that like really I think are really kind of freak me out about that movie, but like they're laughing at it the whole time. So I'm like, okay.
Because the special effects are just practical instead of all CGI.
I guess that was the funny thing. I was like, the practical effects look good. I'm like, what are you guys laughing at?
Right. That was one of those movies that like the cast fell together perfectly. Whether I don't know, when we see them the way they are, that like we can't see anybody else in the roles of those movies, but like the cast was amazing. Everybody was really good at what they were doing in that movie.
And I'm a big role-playing guy, and like that was perfect like scenario, like there were so many good characters that like, okay, this guy is the commander guy and he's the only one that's got a gun, and this guy's the helicopter pilot and he's kind of the you know, the hero, but he doesn't want to be the hero kind of character. And I love movies where I could see it being a, you know, a, a, an RPG scenario. I just love movies that play out like that.
Right. Is it the creative in you that's like seeing that? You know, like I mean that like you know, like creatives I think can like take flaws and fill in those kind of gaps in a movie. Do you know what I'm saying? If I'm explaining it right.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm pretty hard critic. I don't generally like any movies these days, but I usually just rewatch the stuff. I just usually just rewatch all the stuff that I love. I don't really like new stuff. I'm pretty hard on movies. So
as you should be.
What's the last good?
What's that?
I was gonna say, what's the last good modern movie you've seen?
The last movie I saw in the theater that I was pretty excited about was the new Alien movie, and I hated it. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which new one was it? Which one?
Prometheus, I think.
Oh yeah.
No, what was it? Prometheus? What was the news?
The latest.
Oh,
the latest. Kids? No, it was
Romulus.
Romulus, that was it. Yeah,
I didn't even finish it.
Yeah, it was. God, I was.
You watch. All right, now we're gonna just like geek out a little bit. You watching the Alien Earth show?
No, I'm not. I've heard enough about it that I know I'm not gonna like it. So I just.
I actually know nothing about it. I'm seeing that people are liking it, but I know absolutely zero about it.
I've watched some of it. It's I don't know. I think I'm of the mind now that the Alien movie that was another one that was so big for me. That's one of the top, movies for me growing up. And it's good. We don't need more movies. We don't need more Alien movies. Aliens was really good too, but not the same as Alien. Alien was on top to bottom great movie for me.
Yeah. Alien was a horror movie and Aliens was an action movie.
Yep.
And they were both great.
Yeah. All right. And the soundtrack was so good. Is that you, Eli?
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt, but I love those John Carpenter soundtracks, man.
I actually saw John Carpenter in concert. It's been about 5 or 6 years ago when he went on tour with his son, and they played all the John Carpenter music. It was awesome.
Wow. Just like him on stage?
Yep. Him on stage with a band and his son
playing Halloween and shit like that.
Yep, exactly. He played Escape from New York and all that.
Shit.
It was cool as shit. And he's got his own albums of music, which is basically the same kind of stuff. So I listen to that stuff all the time. I'm a huge John Carpenter fan.
They're probably some of the most memorable movie music soundtracks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a Mood. The guy, Jesus. Just the Halloween theme is so, I don't know, man.
It's extremely iconic for sure. Yeah.
You can't recreate that stuff. So what's I'm gonna talk about you, Kennon. I'm gonna talk about some of the stuff you've done. I've always loved your Funky Fish book. If you haven't seen it, Kennon is just creating fish, like bizarre fish, and he just was that just like a fascination with you that you just kind of got obsessed with drawing weird fish?
It kind of started in like, man, I realized I couldn't draw fish very well. And so I just started doing like a daily warm up of just drawing weird fish. And then it kind of just became a thing. And this was, early 2000s. And
probably blog days.
Yep. Like, and I put it on my blog. And then it got put on draw.com or draw.ca or whatever that website was.
Right.
And all of it kind of caught fire. and then I became the guy who drew fish, and I was like, oh, I don't want to be the guy who drew fish, man. So yeah, it was cool for a while. I still do them every once in a while for kicks, but yeah, it's
were they traditional drawings? At that point they would have been traditional,
yes,
correct?
yes, they're all
I think I own one or two actually.
Yep,
So
probably do.
that.
And I'd take them into Photoshop and put like screens on them for shading and stuff.
Oh, so that's all the dot work was. Hey Eli, see if you could pull up some funky fish. Yeah, there you are. Look at those things. Like the thing I loved about these pieces was your shapes were amazing. Like this was about the time I think I maybe was meeting the Creature Box guys, and and I started realizing that shape is really important and silhouettes are really important to art. And this stuff screams. This stuff is so good.
Dude, that stuff is so cool, man. That's awesome.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
How many books did you do? You did a few books, or at least
no.
One
I just did that one. That's
yeah.
I just did that one.
Go get it, everybody. You still sell it? Is it still part of your?
I mean, I have copies of it. I don't even know if it's
online.
If you want it, you can send me an email. I have boxes and boxes of them. So, but I don't think it's online anymore. It might be on Amazon.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember. I did that, and then I did the Post-it note. If you see that down there on the bottom.
Oh yeah. See if you can pull that up, Eli. What was that? Tell us about that.
That was my Kickstarter before last. I've done 4 Kickstarters.
Right.
My first Kickstarter was it funded, but then I it was, oh man, like it is I guess the Kickstarter horror stories that everybody has. I guess. Well,
right.
Like it.
Sorry, what was it called again? The other one?
The Post-it note book's called 3x3 because they're all 3 inches by 3 inches. So, and my first Kickstarter I funded, but I had a baby at the same time, and that's was horrible timing, and then I got offered a very lucrative full-time job at the same time that I couldn't turn down, and it just was horrible timing, and it floundered, and finally I just gave everybody their money back.
I see what you're saying.
And I was like, I'm never doing Kickstarter again because people got real ugly about it, and as they should. I mean, it was, and anyway, I swore off Kickstarter, and then my friend Jeremy, who is a publisher, he talked me back into coming back to Kickstarter, and then I did the Funky Fish book Kickstarter, which was already done. I had published it in like 2009, 2010 myself, and
in paperback, right?
Yeah, and then he got me to do a Kickstarter just to get back in the saddle, as it were, with a project I already had in my back pocket. So I did that, and that funded, and then I did that, and then 2 years ago I did my 3x3 Kickstarter, and the Kickstarter I was also, it's funny, all these things that I kind of just wind up doing for kicks just as warm-ups kind of turn into a thing, because after a while I have like 100 of them, and I'm like,
so that was my question, like what was this whole Post-it thing? You just one day decided you had Post-it sitting there and you started drawing?
Yeah, I started doing them when I was working my corporate job, and I'd go to these meetings, and I'd just start these corporate meetings. They all just have Post-it notes laying all over the place, and I just started doing them, and that kind of became a thing. And I kind of like the format of it, because it was 3 inches by 3 inches. You don't have to obsess too much about it, and and then before I knew it, I had like 100 of those. So
it's just all weird random stuff, like
Yeah.
cars,
I do
demons.
it for like Inktober.
Oh, okay.
Whatever the prompt was, I just do a post-it note for the prompt, and
Gotcha.
that just became a thing. And then after a while, like I said, I had a ton of them, so I did a book on that, and that did pretty good. And then here recently, I just did a Kickstarter in January for my newest book, which is my monsters book, which is a collection of all the RPG stuff, all the RPG monsters I've done over the past 2 or 3 years.
That's what's kind of like filling up your Instagram these days, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And is that all traditional, digital? What is that stuff?
That's all Photoshop.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Because a lot of it looks really kind of traditional to me.
Nope, that's all Photoshop.
Oh yeah, that book is out.
That book is out. It is
Nice.
It is on Amazon now.
Your use of blacks always impresses me. Like you use a lot of like really solid blacks mixed with line work. It's one of the things I think draws me to your stuff. Like a lot of silhouette shapes. Yeah, this stuff's cool. So what is that stuff? Like where did that stuff all come from?
Well, it appeared in various RPG books, okay, I need a picture of a goblin, or I need a picture of a, whatever. And then they've got RPG books usually have a picture of the monster, and then they have the stats so you can use them in game,
Okay.
So I had one client, Dr. Greg Gillespie, who was doing a whole rule set, and most of those monsters were from in the monsters book. The majority of them, probably 80% of them, were from stuff I've done for him.
Yeah, they all have kind of a similar kind of look and feel to them. So I was wondering if the client was one person.
I was just riffing real hard on the old school D&D stuff, the old school D&D vibe.
Gotcha. I never got into D&D when it I was of the generation that when D&D came out and was first. When did it come out? You probably know this. When did it first come out? Like
78 or something.
78, yeah. So
it just had its 50th. So however, it just had its 50th like last year.
So probably 74.
Yeah.
Yeah, because 84 was a turtle 40th. But I was of the generation where, D&D was becoming popular, and it was, the whole kind of, affecting the youth kind of
satanic panic.
Yep, all that shit.
Yeah.
So I always was into the idea of it because I was always into the Frazetta Conan shit, and I was always into the idea of all that stuff. But there was nobody around to do that kind of stuff, so I never actually did any of that kind of stuff. I never participated in the D&D thing.
Right.
But I could see the attraction to it, especially for a young kind of creative type where you can just kind of, play your strengths, especially at that age,
Right.
Sudden, John, you ever get into that kind of stuff?
No,
we need to hear from John.
No, I never knew anything about it, and I never played it. I didn't know anybody who did. So when I did do work for them, I knew nothing. So I'm drawing these characters. I don't know what anything is,
Right.
So I always thought that was interesting that there were so many artists that didn't play, because I was like an avid player, and I've met so many artists that work on RPGs and that sort of stuff. And it's kind of weird when I'll meet people and they'll say, "Oh, you actually play?" And I'm like, "Oh, hell yeah, I play." So it's kind of.
Did you have a network of friends that were all into the same thing?
Oh yeah,
you must have, right?
Yeah.
guess I didn't have any friends back then. I was
I was playing Street Fighter and stuff like that at the time too. So that was kind of my thing.
That's a video game.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, all that stuff. Go to golf land, putting your quarters up, and all that stuff like that.
Where'd you grow up, Kennon? You grew up in Texas?
I did. I grew up north of Houston.
Gotcha.
So Vince asked, "Are these indicative? It's one of these words I can't say. Indicative. Yeah, there we go. Of your average sketchbook play, do you travel with the sketchbook to work in?" And this is Vince Locke, who I just recently
amazing,
met. Yeah,
awesome Vince Locke. Vince, you should come draw with us at some point. If we keep this thing going, we don't know what we're doing. Yeah. I used to carry a sketchbook, and I used to keep a little sketchbook and drag it around with me. It was easier to do. Obviously, I wasn't doing all this water wash stuff, but when my kids were younger and they all played sports and karate and soccer, and you'd have to go and hang out there. And it was, I was not really a sports guy. It was cool to watch my kids do that, but I just brought sketchbooks and I would just sit and draw in them. The only problem was that you'd sit and draw in a sketchbook and every other parent would come over and talk to you and be like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Because you were like an attraction.
Right.
But that's the most I carried a sketchbook was when my kids were little. I don't do it now because I kind of I tattoo and I come home in my sketchbooks here and I work on my sketchbooks here. So I don't really, when I'm out, I don't carry shit with me.
Yeah, I don't. I carry one around, but I hardly ever work in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do that a lot. I do enjoy like figure drawing in public, like gesture drawing, but I just haven't had time. And
just drawing people that you see.
Yeah, just like quick gesture drawings. I really love gesture drawing, like 30-second,
Right.
1 minute gesture drawing. So that I miss that.
Did you ever do live model stuff? Did you ever do like either of you? And like true art school kind of.
I did a little bit in school, and I've gone to a few like live art things, but not. I mean, I feel like they're important. I mean, they're good to do, but I haven't done any of them in a long time.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be a great thing to actually keep doing, but who the hell has time for that? It's like, John, did you ever do that kind of stuff? Do you ever like get into like figure drawing classes and figure drawing nights at college stuff, art schools and stuff?
I actually did it a lot. And it goes back to the gesture drawing. I did a lot of gesture drawing, like a lot of gesture drawing. My buddy Lee had a, legendary like workshop on Friday nights where he had the best models, and we would do like 30-second, 1 minute drawings. Right. And that was a lot of how I learned how to draw, really. So I did a whole lot,
man. Yeah, that's great.
So what was it like on like when you were doing these gesture drawings? Was it just newsprint, charcoal, that kind of shit, like as people tend to do, or did you approach it differently?
So what I did at the time, because admittedly, I wasn't the best student in school. I could admit that now that I'm older.
Yeah,
I was a little bit of a jerk, but yeah. So most people did newsprint. I probably should have done more newsprint. To be honest, that probably would have helped me more. But I actually did a lot of big pen and ballpoint pen and a sketchbook. That was actually what I did a lot. And then what the one thing I did is that I used as few sheets as possible. So I would just draw over the same drawing over and over. So a lot of my sketches from that era, it's just pages of scribbles because I was just drawing over everything. They weren't important. They're gesture drawings,
Right. Do you still have that kind of stuff, or you just like passage of time eats that kind of stuff up?
Oh, do I still do it, you mean, or?
No, I have the old drawings where you like filled up a book, or were you drawing in a sketchbook, or you just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I still have all that crap, man.
So you're an art hoarder.
Yeah, I am
Hoarder.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I've ever thrown away, and I think my friend has these actually. I can't remember. I had a bunch. I did at one point. I was doing so much storyboarding for advertising. I had them in like just garbage bags, and I was throwing them away. And then I think my friend took a bag. I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
So I don't know if I bad memory, but John, did we talk? You went to art school in Chicago.
No, San Francisco.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Sorry, man. I'll get it. How many years did you go to art school?
I did 4 years. I got a degree because it was very important to my parents. But by the last couple of years of school, I was kind of doing my own thing, which when you're paying that amount of money is not the smart thing to do, really, because you're paying money to learn.
Right.
Like I said, I was kind of a jerk at the time. Yes, I got a degree. I've never even seen it. The thing that kept me there, like I said, was I was offered the job at Capcom, which again I didn't deserve. And
Capcom's like a video game company, correct?
Yeah.
Or am I thinking of something?
Yeah, they're like a United States branch of it.
Okay.
And I used like staying in school as my excuse to everybody why I turned down the job, but really I turned down the job because I just wanted to draw. And it wasn't even like I want to stay in school. It was just like I want to draw. And then I got the degree because it made my parents really happy. So that's it. I've never had one client ask me for my degree or a resume or anything.
Nah. I want to ask questions of people with us and see if anybody's drawing, and if they're drawing in a sketchbook, if they want to send a picture to Eli so we can see what you're drawing with us, if you're down for that.
Yeah, I hope some of you guys are drawing, and please send whatever you have. That'd be fun.
Yeah. How you doing, Eli?
I'm doing great. Even I drew a little bit here.
What'd you draw?
What'd you draw,
on
Eli?
Screen?
Oh, geez, no, I gotta share.
Yeah.
Is it a ween thing?
I didn't add a business. I should have. I get it. I got inspiration from you guys, probably. Try to use some different shading.
Nice.
I love it, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Eli came to get tattooed by me, and at some point in the process, we realized we're both Ween fans. So Eli and I bond over Ween, which is a band. If you don't know, you're big.
Portland, aren't they?
I like Ween. You're a big Ween fan.
Aren't they from Portland?
Another from New Hope, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. I guess I discovered them when I was living in Portland. I think that's what it was.
They're so good.
I still have your zines, man.
You got the Ween zines? Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I still got those. You used to give them out at San Diego, right?
Yeah, I would give them out wherever. Yeah, and I would always take them to San Diego because what's his name? Jermaine Rogers was always there, and he was a big Ween fan too.
Oh, really?
He did a bunch of posters for them and stuff.
Actually, did I have my Ween shirt on when you came to get tattooed? I think I did. I think that's how we realized that we were like both Ween people. So, all right, here's a question for you guys. Like, how big a deal is music in your drawing process, in your work, in your world? Is it or isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty big for me. Pretty big.
Yeah, definitely me too. You, John?
Yeah, it used to really influence things. Not as much anymore, but it's definitely part of the process.
Right.
I tend to like stuff that has no lyrics these days.
That's funny. I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm really getting into. I didn't know what it's called, post rock, but it's called post rock. It's like, and it's very much filled with no lyric. The lyrics kind of break me out of my kind of trance state. that when I get like if I draw for a while, I hit what I call the zone. And sometimes if a song is too much, it will pull me out. So.
That's why I can't do audiobooks while I work.
No, I can't do that.
Yeah, I've actually tried that, and I don't know how people do it, the audiobook thing.
Me either.
I have no clue what's going on. But probably the latest record I heard, and which is really old, and I'm like not keeping up with things, so I'm probably the last person to know about it, is there's like, I can't even pronounce the name of this dude. It's like some 17-year-old kid put out a black metal demo tape in like 97, and I guess someone remastered it because it sounds really bad. But that's been my favorite record lately that I've been listening to.
Wow,
And
now I want to know what it is.
it's called Angel Destruct. That's what it's called, but I can't pronounce the name of the artist.
Right.
But it's just cool. I really dig stuff like that. It's like just some 17-year-old kid just like jamming in 97 with like a 4-track or something. So that's been my new thing.
Did he go on to do anything else, or just this weird found music that?
There's a bunch of demo tapes, so I don't know how much he was around. I didn't look into it too much.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just happy with that record because it's very, I don't know, it just makes me think of high school and stuff like that, you know.
What's your music taste, Kennon? And if this stuff's boring, we can like pivot into other stuff. But this is kind of stuff I like.
I am a huge fan of stoner rock. I love
nice.
Like, let me see. King Buffalo is like.
Oh yeah.
Is probably my
Elder.
Top band.
You like Elder?
I love Elder. Yeah. This new band. Well, they're pretty much new to the scene. Slow Mosa is one of my top bands, and then Pink Floyd is probably my all-time favorite band. If I default, I always default to Pink Floyd. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah, dude, Elder is great. Elder is fantastic, man.
Fucking amazing. You should try King Buffalo that he's talking about. I found them recently. Elder, King Buffalo.
King Buffalo is one of those bands that like I like every single one of their songs. Like,
right. Jason Jones says I listen to music constantly. I do too, man. I have like massive playlists that I just keep dumping shit in, and a lot of times when I'm tattooing, you know, if the client's cool, I'll just put headphones on and go off into this. I don't know. Again, the zone state, and just I don't know. It's my favorite way of working.
Well, what's your genre of choice?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm an old school punk guy, but like I think being in the tattoo shop and honestly being with clients, maybe we talked about this a little bit. That's one of the things about tattooing that I think unexpectedly was one of my favorite parts is like when you're an artist and a comic artist, you don't spend time with people. You spend time by yourself working every single day. And being in the tattoo shop the last few years and meeting clients and working with them every month for, 8 months, you get to know them. And I've just been turned on to so much cool music that way. So while I lean into the old punk rock shit, all this stuff like King Buffalo, Elder, Godspeed, Mogwai is one of my current favorites. Which, if you don't know, you should check it out because there's no lyrics. It's very instrumental, but it's pretty great.
I love finding new music, man. I'm always on the hunt for my new favorite song,
I tend to obsess about a new band until I overplay it, and I have to find a new one.
Yep, it's kind of the same way.
We got our first submission here of someone drawing while this is happening. And I'll throw into the music thing. I was listening to a lot of Sonic Youth, and then I started getting into like Thurston Moore side stuff, and it's a lot of what you're saying, Eric, post rock is new music. This is Irwin.
Is that Irwin? Yeah, I know
so
Irwin stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, Irwin's awesome, great, Irwin. Man.
He's so good.
Bam. Hell yeah.
It's very good.
He kills it.
All right, take that down. You're making us look bad.
All right.
I know. It's true. I look at Irwin's stuff and I'm just like, damn, dude, that guy can draw.
Yeah. It just flows out of him. Good job, Irwin.
Yeah.
We like you. Now go away. Take
yeah.
it.
But Eli, nice on the Sonic Youth stuff. That was one of my favorite bands when I was in high school. I was a big Sonic Youth listener.
They're so good. I have like a tape deck here in my studio. So I recently found that they put out a bunch of their older albums on cassette. So I like picked up some of these old school cassettes of theirs.
Really?
They used to live in the town I'm in, out in the Northampton, East Hampton area. I think
right.
They did?
Yeah, a bunch of like Frank Black lived out here. Jay from Dinosaur lives out here. So I think there was like this like attraction to, come out here and raise your kids and I don't know, wander around. Nobody would bug you. You'd see like Frank Black at Whole Foods. And
I don't know why that's funny, but that just is.
Yeah.
Yeah. One record I really like of theirs is they have a song called Macbeth on the Ciccone Youth album, and that's just like an instrumental. I don't know
Who's that, Sonic Youth?
Yeah, but they called themselves Ciccone Youth after Madonna went for one record, and then they just did some covers, and I think they did a Madonna cover and stuff like that. I don't know. I always liked that record.
It's interesting too, because like the new solo, like Kim stuff, is like trap hip hop, and then the solo Thurston Moore stuff is like post rock, like instrumental. It's very cool. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, is Lee doing anything? He is like kind of the most experimental out of
I know, yeah, and I didn't see as much when I was like checking out stuff, but I saw he did like a cover album and but not nearly as many solo albums as the other two.
Yeah, did you get all the SYR records?
No, I didn't. What's that one? What are those?
Those are their self-produced records that they just put out that are just as wild as they can get because they couldn't do it on their regular records. You should get those.
Oh, sick. Yeah, I did notice that their Bandcamp is pretty active and they've got live bootlegs and stuff.
Yeah, get the SYR records. There's one with Yoko Ono, so you can check that one out.
Oh, I didn't see that one. All right, hey, we got one more sketchbook piece here coming.
All right, what we got?
Sweet.
This is from Jason Jones.
Love that.
Yeah, that's sick.
Hell yeah.
Pug Warrior.
Hell yeah.
That's good. Yeah, everybody keep sending pictures. This is good. If we do nothing more than like, get you guys drawing and with us. That's the whole point of this. The love of drawing.
Yeah.
I had some people tell me at my last show they were drawing with us, and I don't know. I kind of wasn't expecting it, but I really like it. It's really nice that people are doing that.
Hopefully we're not like boring them. They're ready to mute the volume and just draw with us.
Yeah, you could do that too.
Yeah, I would. No, I wouldn't. All right, what are we going to talk about now? What do we got? How much time is? What time?
Got about 10, 15 left.
Oh, all right.
Wow, that was fast.
It flies, right? John and I did 2.5 hours, and we were like, "What? How did that happen?" Last time, so.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it. That's for sure.
So maybe we should talk a little bit like so. If you like this, it's kind of we're just forming it as we go. We're not, there's no real plan, but we're gonna hopefully try to keep this thing going. Where John and I get together with some artists and tune in and draw, just talk like this, just do sketchbook stuff. So yeah, I'm not very good at this side, but if you like it, we started a YouTube channel. Check it out, and we'll.
Yeah, it's called Sketchbook Live Stream. Eli's hosting us this week because we had some technical problems, but Sketchbook Live Stream YouTube. We have another one that we're going to be doing. We don't know when we're doing it, but we are doing another one.
Yes.
We're still trying to figure all this out, and so far I'm enjoying it. So looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, me too.
And
until we start telling the same stories over and over again.
Oh, I'm sure that'll happen. And then But and Kennon's been great, and that's a great drawing, man.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Are you doing Copic on it too? Is that what that is?
Yeah, Copic. Hitting it with some white jelly roll pen, but you can't really see it, I don't think. But and going back over it with the brown erase too. So I'm just gonna freestyle.
So how was it? We made you draw on paper again tonight. How was that?
It was cool. I miss it. It's
awesome.
Yeah,
right?
It is. I should do more of it. I should do more of it for sure.
I'm actually so shocked you don't draw on paper. I swore I thought your stuff was pen and ink, man.
I agree.
Yeah, I need to
100%.
do, like I said, I need to do more of it. But just client work, it's just easier to make changes when it's digital.
And it just saves you a lot of time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've one artist friend. He told me, I was like, he goes, he goes, I couldn't have free time if I didn't do digital. Is what he told, basically what he told me. He's like, yeah, I do way more work if I do it digitally. It's tempting. I would like to have a weekend off.
I think honestly, like I always talk about tattooing because I love it so much, but the tattoo process has made me kind of lean back into doing more traditional art because it's, while it seems crazy and weird to do tattoos to, like, as an artist, but it's more like drawing on paper than any, I guess that's obvious, but it's such a cool creative process, and it just makes me want to do more art.
Man, drawing on paper makes me nervous enough. I could not even imagine like doing tattoos. That just gives me anxiety just thinking about it. So
I think what it is that
my hat's off to you.
I mean, it's like any art form, but the thing about it is once you do it for a while, it does kind of free you up for when you are drawing on paper. It's just, I don't know, maybe the pressure's off in some way, but I don't know. I'm rambling. Everybody tattoo. I think it's played a big role in the growth of my art too. I think the tattoo process makes you stop and.
Well, what's cool about your stuff is you can definitely see your style. Like I don't know, I haven't. Like you have. There's no drop off in, translation. You can definitely see your style. 100%.
That's something I'm really trying to do. I'm trying. It's hard, and it has been hard, and it's taken years to get to a point where I can make this. Try to make it. If anything, I think it turns into like it's informed my regular traditional art form in so many ways. But I don't want to eat up the last of our minutes talking. We'll do a show with a tattoo artist someday, and we'll talk more about the tattoo process. But they kind of inform each other. And you learn, like when I draw a lot and then I go tattoo, it's like a whole new world opens up. And when I tattoo a lot and I draw and I come back to drawing, a whole new world opens up. So I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that same way. Like I've picked up so much for my traditional work, just working digital. It's kind of weird, when you work in a certain medium so long, it kind of opens certain doors when you get back to the other one,
So what are you drawing on digitally? You drawing on a Cintiq?
Yeah, Wacom, like a 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's a question: like when you do that too much and you go back to paper, does it mess you up a little bit because you're so used to such a smooth surface?
No, I do find myself like reaching for the Control Z every once in a while.
Okay.
But not too much. I was gonna say something, I completely went blank. But no, not really. I don't feel like it's too much of a leap.
Right. So do you do commission work? Do you like what kind of commission do you do? Like character work for people that are into the Dungeons and Dragons stuff? Do you like if you have a commission list open where people can reach out and get Kennon art?
Yes, man, I feel like I'll do anything. Man, I'm not choosy generally. I'll listen to anything. But yeah, I'll take commissions. I'll do concept stuff, character stuff, illustration.
How do people get in touch with you for this kind of
just
stuff?
hit me up on social media or generally just social media, or you can email me at kennon9@gmail.com or at gmail.com.
I do that all the time. I never know my Instagram address.
My Instagram is Kennon9, Kennon the number 9. So it's pretty easy.
Okay. What's your social media of choice? Is it Instagram? Where do you show
Instagram's pretty much, I mean, I've got presences in pretty much, I feel like every social media site, but
right.
Instagram's pretty much where I live generally.
I kind of think we're all trapped with Instagram at this point. At least that's the way I feel. It's like I've tried the blue sky. I've tried, in theory, I want to support something more artist friendly, but
right.
I think we're all kind of trapped, unfortunately, from years of building something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I completely agree. I've got Blue Sky, X, Twitter. That's the same thing now. Yeah, Threads, Instagram, TikTok. I've got all of it, but I generally just keep to Instagram.
Yeah, Eli just posted it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Any more questions?
We do have one more person that sent me their art.
Okay.
This is a Brooklyn-based artist named Ian Cinco. He's very good.
Damn.
Oh.
That's drawn tonight?
I guess so.
That's nice, man.
Dang, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Wish I could draw that in 2 hours.
I know.
That's badass, man. Nice work.
Yeah. Sick, Ian. Thanks, dude.
So we'll save this on our YouTube channel. And anybody that had fun and enjoyed this, hopefully we'll be doing it in a month, John?
Yeah.
Maybe earlier if we can swing it. I don't know. We both have stuff going on.
Yeah. No, I think probably about a month. Like I said, we're still trying to figure things out, but we got a dude lined up, and I think everybody's gonna really like his work.
Oh man, I can't wait to talk to this guy. Now we get to get cryptid. We can't say anything, but this dude's great.
Yeah.
And kind of our goal with this, just so I know, we got a couple more minutes. Kind of our goal with this is to get some different types of artists in here to talk with us. Not just like the same, I think that's one of our goals is to keep it about sketchbooks, but I want to see some different kind of art.
We just want to see artists do what they do, basically.
There you go. In 2 hours.
In 2 hours. Yeah, I think we did pretty good for 2 hours, actually.
Yeah, would you do? Nice.
I'm just scribbling.
What is that, crayon? What is that?
It's just colored pencil.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's my cheat. You use colored pencils to cheat on everything.
Your fine lines, do you do your fine lines with the brush as well?
On this piece, yeah. I had some pen stuff, but I think I blew just about all of it out. So this is mostly brush, the Sumi brush.
Man, that's cool.
Thanks, man.
Your alien piece just blew me away, man. I have to say that, like, I saw that and I was like, dude, what am I doing here? Like, this is awesome.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Actually, if you talk about dream project, yeah, I want to do one official alien piece, and then that's it. I never want to draw a xenomorph again, just one time. So there you go. Now I finally have an answer for that. But thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it was super, super good.
Cool. All right, Kennon. I think we're in our last minutes here. Yeah, man, it was awesome hanging with you.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me, man. I really appreciate it. It was awesome hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, man. Your work's great, and that's a great piece, man. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I had a great time. Thanks for the invite.
Cool. And then you want to plug your books one more time, or web store, whatever it is you got going on?
Yeah, you can find my stuff. Generally, you can get my link through my Instagram. My Instagram is Kennon, the number 9. My books are all available on Instagram, or not Instagram, Amazon. The links are all through my link tree, which is you can find on my Instagram post. I have a website, but I don't send anybody there because I haven't updated it in like 15 years. So I just
We all have one of those.
Find my stuff on Instagram, and you can get all my links there, and all my books are available through that. So yeah,
awesome,
dude. And shout out to Eli for bailing us out today with the technical issue.
Yeah, thanks, Eli. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks,
we'll have all
Eli.
that stuff worked out. All right, man. Thanks. What's that?
Oh, nothing. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say thank you, everybody. This was a lot of fun again. So we're having a good time. I hope everybody else is.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate it. Hope you come back for the next one.
Yep. See you guys. Thanks.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.